So Simplicity snuck in some new look patterns. So I am here for another Big Four first impression video. I do want to say that I do have a very long list of indie companies, and I will be incorporating those into First Impression Fridays, which is going to be an official thing. I guess starting next week. I can't think of any other Big Four patterns that haven't released their summer yet, their summer collection yet. So hopefully this is the end of Big Four, and then we can transition to the indies until the early fall comes out from the Big Four again, and that's how we'll just keep rotating them through. So if you like first impression videos, you will want to check back on Fridays unless you are a Hemsider, where I will be posting a link to the video for Hemsider subscribers only on Wednesdays. So like an early sneak peek for those folks. But without further ado, let's get into New Look. I also want to point out we've got a $4.29 price point, which is awesome. And remember, at Joann, they are $3.99 all the time, every day. So, all right, so this first one is a halter dress with back tie. Let's take a look at that. Give me a little bit of an apron vibe initially with this straight neckline, but I do like the halter, the lines that this is creating here. We've got a bust start. We've got a little waistband, which I feel like we haven't seen a waistband in several collections. So that's nice to bring back. And then I'm guessing that's an inseam pocket. It's also quite long, midi length. And here's some alternate views. There's this one, which I think is just shorter. Here's what our model is wearing, which any indication of this illustration, this is a gingham print seersucker, which is super cute. All right, and then here's the back where they talked about the ties. You guys know I'm obsessed with this. I love a fun back detail. This one also has a little center back slit in the longer version. And I was checking to see if there's a seam, but there's not. But I also like how the elastic back here is nice and thick. That looks like a good 1-inch elastic, which is really great. Super cute. I want to know how you get in and out of this thing. I don't see any like zippers or anything. I'm wondering if it's you have to tie and untie that thing every single time. That can't be right. Right? Okay, so here's the shorter length in the back, and it does not get the little kick. Isn't it called a kick vent or kick pleat or kick something? And then here's the fronts, just two different lengths. So you don't get a ton of options, but yeah, I'm thinking that you pull this over your head every time, which, yikes, I don't know about, just because tying that thing's got to be obnoxious. Like, I was kind of hoping that you just tie it once and then kind of forget about it, but I don't know how else you'd get in and out of it. Do y'all have any ideas? Here is our pattern back, 6666. That should be pretty easy to remember. It looks like, I think the bodice is lined. I'm sure though that tie is self-faced because you can see both sides of it. You need like under 2 yards of fabric, which is really good. And then the longer version, you need a little bit more than 2 yards. So it's, you know, not a big fabric hog. Finished garment measurements, we do have a bust and a hip measurement. The bust is pretty close fitting, as you can imagine. Obviously, there's a little bit of wiggle room there in that you can tie the tie a little bit tighter. Tie the tie a little bit tighter. The hip is, yeah, I want to say there's probably, well, no, it says right here, 5.5 inches of ease, just about, yeah. So that's pretty generous. Normally I'm doing like a 20 or 22 in the hip, and this doesn't go up that high. Like for example, my hip measurement does not fit into this chart, but when you consider the ease, it does. So I would just have a little bit less ease than everyone else. But a skirt like this that's pretty much straight would be easy to add on, you know, and make it a little bit more roomy if you need. Suggested fabrics are chambray, cotton, gingham, linen, piqué, poplin, sateen, seersucker. Yeah, all those really great woven summery fabrics. Yeah, and 1¼ inch wide elastic. I love that. I love a good hardy elastic. Okay, next we've got, oh, and then yeah, the price, I mean the sizes, they're all in one, and I think that that is how it is across the board, where they have all their sizing in one, which is really, really great, especially if you know, if your hips aren't any larger than this or vice versa with your bust. You can grade between sizes without having to get multiple pattern sizes. So it looks like expected 7/7, 7/7. That's a month away. Interesting. So either well, we'll see if there's any availability on any of the other patterns before I speak too soon on that. Okay, next we've got a dress with neck and armhole piping. Love that. Waist yoke and skirt pleats. All right. Love a good piped neckline and armhole. And it said it's got a waist yoke, so I'm imagining the seam line is something like this, and then this. I love a good, like, deep waist yoke, waistband, whatever you want to call it. That's really nice. And then the pleats are really pretty. Here's a line drawing. This one you can add little ties if you want. And it's got 2 pleats for the bust, and then all of these for the skirt, and then there's this long version. Here's the line drawing of the one the model is wearing. Cute. She did not put the little bows on hers. But isn't that just a beautiful little, you know, summery spring garden type dress? Love it. Invisible zipper in the back. Fits her really well. It looks like there's some darts here. They go all, like, nice deep back darts, which is nice. And then here's the pattern front, the cover. I mean, this is right in my wheelhouse, guys, so you know that I have to be loving this one. This is just like, I have a zillion patterns that are very, very similar to this. I just love a fit and flare dress so much. Okay, yeah, so here's our back darts. They have this little bow on all the illustrations, but, you know, as you can see from hers, she left hers off, so it's completely optional. Yeah. All right, here's the back. Gosh, less than 2 yards of fabric for the short version, and that's mostly because, let's go to a line drawing, because your bodice piece is chopped up a whole bunch. So you need less yardage when you have all these separate pieces. It's just the way that it goes. So that makes sense that it's, you know, under 2 yards of fabric. And then we only have finished bust measurements, probably because the skirt is just so wide, it's kind of negligible, but a close-fitting bust again. Even maybe a little more close-fitting than the last pattern we saw, but suggested fabrics are chintz, cotton types, crepe de chine, gingham, linen types, poplin, sateen. Yeah, woven, summery, breathable, lightweight. And then invisible zipper, purchased piping, and optional ribbon for the little shoulder tie. Okay. I need to turn my phone off. I didn't realize it was going to be dinging so much. Yeah, same size range, 4 to 16. Actually, only up to 16. The last one went to 18. So keep that in mind. Super cute though. All right, now we've got a fit and flare dress with a princess seam. Again with the shoulder ties. Here are our princess seams all the way down. Nice deep V-neck too. Here it is in a print, and I think that one might be longer. Yeah, here's the shorter version. She's got hers in like a nice drapey fabric, which is really pretty, but if you have any kind of belly at all, it's going to show it. There's just nothing to camouflage it here at all. So keep that in mind. Grab some Spanx if you need. But yeah, here's the deep V. Here's the back. I wouldn't be surprised if this were a knit. Yeah, easy, just for knits. So you could make it out of a more stable, like cotton jersey, and it'll camouflage a little bit, but yeah, I mean, these types of silhouettes where it's just one long princess seam, there's really just no pleats, no gathers, no nothing to hide anything there, if that is a concern of yours. And then we've got a shorter length and a longer length. It also has side seam pockets, and it's just a little pull-on dress. So knit lining for maybe a facing, and then you interface that. I guess that's what's happening. And then a little less than 2.5 yards, right around 2.5 yards. Your finished bust measurement, again, you're probably gonna have like, well, with a knit, normally if it were super close fitting, you'd have negative ease. This one actually has, yeah, about 1 inch of negative ease-ish. And then your hip is going to be a little bit more, with a little bit more ease in it because it's a flared skirt. And then the sizing on this one is 10 to 22. So that's a completely different. We've seen 3 different size ranges in the last 3 patterns. So suggested fabrics: interlock, jersey, ponte, stretch velvet, and then a tricot lining. And then you need 3/4 inch wide elastic. I think that might be for the neckline or armhole, or both. Cute, easy to wear dress though. Okay, now we've got a shift dress with French with French darts and with or without sleeves. Okay, got it. And the French dart is going to come in at an angle from like down here somewhere. Hard to see on her, but look at this neckline. Square neckline that's also very high. Can't say that I've seen that very often. I love the self belt. Love. And we've got a longer length here, sort of slimmer skirt. So here are our French darts. That is what that looks like. Sewn the same way, if you watched my dart video, sewn the same way as these types of darts. It's just much longer. And then, yeah, even a forward shoulder and the sleeve. Very covered up, but still very, like, classy, you know? Here's some more pictures of our model. Here you can see the French dart really well there. And then we've got some beautiful fisheye darts in the back as well. I don't think there's a waist seam. There is not a waist seam. So these fisheye darts do a really great job of shaping. And of course the belt helps too. I would have loved to see this version on a person, just to see how roomy it is in the waist without the belt, you know? But it's just a little shift dress, you know? Okay. Here are our line drawings. I love that the belt also has the belt carriers. I think that that is just so helpful when you're sewing dresses with belts, because then you don't have to worry about keeping up with it in your closet. Here's another little kick pleat situation. And no pockets. Okay, so 8 to 20, that is a 4th size range, in case you're keeping track. Whoa, 1 3/4 yards of fabric for A. And A has the sleeve. Interesting. And then 2 1/8 for the longer length. And then your bust measurements, yeah, a little more loose fitting in the bust, and you know, relatively slim fitting in the hip, just like a sheath. So, fabrics are cotton types, crepe back satin, gabardine, jacquard, linen types, pique, poplin, sateen, tweed. So they're even like, you know, hinting at fall. Same with double knit and ponte. Yeah, I mean, it kind of runs the gamut. You just don't want anything super lightweight. I mean, crepe is about as lightweight as you're going to want to go. But yeah, I mean, jacquard would be beautiful. Linen, obviously. I mean, all of these would be really great. So, excuse me, invisible zipper. A snap. I wonder what that's about. And single fold bias tape. Oh, the snap is for the belt. Single fold bias tape for the arm side, and 1 2-inch belt buckle. They only have you do lightweight fusible, so it's not really a belt in that super structured way. I'm sure you could insert some belting in there to make it more stiff, or some stiffer interfacing, but this is more of a sash with a buckle on the end, which is a little bit lame. Okay. All right, and so far all of these have been in stock except for the first one, so there must have just been a real big run on that. All right, pull over V-neck sleeveless top with elastic waist. Okay. Again, nice thick elastic, which I love. Bias bound neckline and arm side, I'm pretty sure. Very roomy in the bust for the bustier girls. Here is, I think that's the same thing that she's wearing, but you also get the skirt. Oh, okay. So the skirt has an elastic waistband and a yoke, and then sort of like a circle, maybe a quarter circle skirt, and then a big band in the bottom too. So a lot going on with the skirt here. Here's how are these different? I think they're just different fabrics. So there's the back. Yeah, I'm kind of here for the, you know, really this is a peplum top, you know, peplum, and then the long skirt. I think that's kind of quite nice. Here's the pattern cover. Yeah, these are all the same. A. So you get one version of each, one version of the top and one version of the bottom. But I like the idea of doing it in separates. I also really like the idea, coordinating fabrics. I like the idea of doing it in the same fabric too, where it kind of sort of maybe looks like a dress. Also, you could definitely extend the length of this top and make it into a one-piece dress. So you could hack your own, like, third garment from all of this. I don't know, though, about the elastic on elastic. I don't know how comfortable that will be. You know, it's like 2 elastic bands. Thick elastic bands. Okay, so the top is like 1¼ yards. The bottom is quite a bit, mostly because this portion here is cut like, one piece. And then finished bust measurements. I'm surprised they even included these at all because it's such a roomy bust, but here it is. So you can see here, wearing ease is only 1 inch, but design ease is got to be like 2 inches. Suggested fabrics, the same for the skirt and the top: poplin, sateen, chambray, challis, crepe de chine, linens, and taffeta. Yeah. You could make it out of a lot of different stuff. I'd also say you could probably make it out of some knits too, like some cotton jersey. And then 1 inch wide elastic. And the 8 to 20 size range on this one. All right, we've got another skirt. This one has waist, yoke, and hem variations. So this is a drop waist skirt where it's fitted through the waist and the hip. This is your high hip and then your low hip. So fitted through all of that. Then it's got this little piece that's almost like sewn on in reverse, where you get this little ruffle, paper bag, gathered situation. This one's high-low. There's also a straight version. This one, oh, it's not high-low. It's like just got this little asymmetrical thing happening. Here's the back. You can see that asymmetry happening. Cool. Back darts in the waist. And it looks like front darts too. So 2 versions of the same skirt. I guess what's kind of nice about fitted drop waist skirts like this is she could have untucked her tank top and it wouldn't be too bulky. You can wear it untucked and it would still, but maybe the proportions would be odd. Yeah. Being as the shirt would come down like this, you'd have that line and then you'd have this line. I think this waistline is a little bit more flattering than one way down here. Here's our line drawings. Yep, easy enough. And yeah, less than 1½ yards. It's the 8 to 20 size range. There's a little lining, which I'm assuming is for this portion. And then your finished hip measurements. Can you see how much closer those are? Because they're measuring them pretty much right along where this seam is. So very close fitting hip. All right, batik, challis, charmeuse, chiffon, cotton lawn, cotton types, crepe de chine, gauze, silky types of wool. Yeah, so really the lightweight for this asymmetrical one, I think for that drape to really, shine, you really want it to be a lightweight fabric. But for this one, you can go into some of the more lighter weight wovens like the wools. Okay. Ooh, cute. Oh, and you get the pants. Okay, so this is a button front top with square neck and straight leg pants. So, square neckline, button front, and these huge sleeves. Makes me wonder if they've stuffed them with tulle. Remember back in the day whenever you would stuff your sleeves? It kind of looks like they might have, you know what I mean? Like this is just so perfectly poofy. But it does create a beautiful hourglass silhouette. So pretty close fitting bust, waist, and hip on the top. The pant, I want to see the waistband first, but no fly. So it's either got to be a zip situation, back or side, or elastic. Here's a line drawing of the top. Pretty darts in the front too to give that real fitted shape. I'm assuming they have similar ones in the back. Here are our pants. Okay, so it is a side zip, and you've got a little itty bitty waistband. Nice basic pant. No pockets, you know, no fly, nothing funky, just pretty straightforward, clean, tailored. Here's the same top in a different print, same pants in a different color. Here's her outfit. Cute, right? Especially I have just like a cotton and then some kind of cotton blend maybe, or maybe even sateen this is, I'm not sure. Here's the back. Nice amount of ease through the thigh, I really like that. Oh no, there's a thread. Oh, bummer. We all know that pain though, right? Darn. All right, yeah. So solid and print. I don't know why they do that in their line drawings. It's a little weird. Okay, here are the line drawings. So yeah, darts in the front and the back on the top. I'm assuming you could also leave these sleeves off and just finish it with bias binding and create a sleeveless version. Or maybe like not put elastic on the bottom and just have it be a little bit more like a fluttery top. I don't know. And then the back only has these one little set of darts, and that's it. I'm interested to see the notions on this one, but fabric requirements for the top, yeah, less than 1.5 yards, less than 2 yards-ish for the pant. Finished bust measurement is, well, honestly, not as loose, not as close fitting as I thought. There is definitely a little bit of ease in here. I think there's about 1 inch of design ease and 1 inch of wearing ease, so that's good. And then the pant, you can see this only goes up to 18, and it's a fairly, you know, it's not a, you know, there's no pleats or anything to like kick out the hip measurement. So it tends to be a pretty close fitting measurement. And then the notions are your 4 buttons for the top, plus the elastic for the sleeve, and then a 1/2 inch wide twill tape, which I think is what makes up that waistband, and then 1 7-inch zipper for the side. Interesting. All right. Soft cottons like chambray, poplin, sateen, linen also, silky types also. Maybe even more so for the top. I don't know. I don't like super fitted silky types. But yeah. Not great. I mean, the sleeve is a little funny. But it's not terrible either. Maybe I'm just in a good mood. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Oh, goodness. Okay. Next, we've got these paper bag, button front paper bag pants or shorts. Well, those are cute. I wish they sat a little higher, if I'm being honest. But, so you've got your waist seam, which has some elastic in it, which is what creates that paper bag silhouette. Then you've also got a yoke, and then you've got a big patch pocket, and then a button front fly. Here's the short, pretty decent inseam on the short, but you can get an idea of these style lines a little bit better. There's the version she's wearing. Yeah, the fact that hers are sitting so low, well, it's hard to tell with this sweater. That's a cute outfit though, right? I love it with the like little lightweight sweater. But it makes me wonder if, well, now that I'm looking at it, I think they could have just hiked these up on her some more. There looks like there is some room down here in the crotch length and depth. And they could have just pulled it up and tightened this on her a little bit. I think this stylist maybe just wasn't aggressive enough with the fit. Here it looks a lot better. It looks a lot higher, actually. But here's the back. So the back has these patch pockets as well, and they used this like bottom weight, which is really crisp and sturdy. So it's giving me kind of like it might even be a denim. But it's interesting with the paper bag waist, you know, a gathered waist to have such a thick, sturdy, strong fabric. Not terrible though. I think the pockets are a little high and maybe a little small, but that I'm real picky about back pockets. Here's the front cover. I think those are cute. Line drawings. And then here's the back cover. So just 2 yards of fabric for the pants and 1 1/4 for the shorts. Talk about a real stash buster. Finished garment for the hip. This goes up to a 20, and so it's a little roomy. You know, you do have the gathers that help it a little bit. And then suggested fabrics: broadcloth, chino, cotton types, gabardine, lightweight denim, linen types, stretch wovens, twill. And then elastic for the waistband and 4 5/8 inch buttons. I think this will do well for them. It's not too much of a paper bag. Sometimes they can be so exaggerated, but that's a nice, modest paper bag. Okay, now we've got a softly tied jacket with puffed sleeves. And you also get the pants too, even though they don't say. Okay, so here's your softly tied jacket. I think this might be either a seam or a bust seam, and then you've got your drop shoulder, gathered sleeve, and then also gathered again at the cuff to give that puff. And then the pants are just elastic pull on with a side seam pocket. Cute. Here's that jacket again in yellow with yellow pants. Here's her version with the green pants. Oh, look at you, girl. Now they put her in a crop top, tube top, and let her belly hang out. That's interesting. Where's the back? Yeah, let's see the back. Nice and long in the back. Nice fitting pants, nothing too weird. Although she has a pretty, you know, average body. No, not too curvy, you know what I mean? It might actually even be a little bit small across here if I'm being real picky, but... All right, here's the cover. Oh, they opted for the full-on, full shirt. Part of me wonders if this is photoshopped. Isn't it weird that the top of the tube top is the exact same as the top of the tank top? I don't know though, maybe not. Okay, so your jacket yardage, kind of a lot, must be for those sleeves and the tie. There's also back darts, which I missed on the line drawing. And then the pants, finished hip measurement, pretty small on the hips. It only goes up to a 16, so this is not in my size range. I probably couldn't make these. Soft cottons, poplin, chambray, silky type, challis, crepe, double georgette, washed linen. Yeah, anything from lightweight, even for the pants and the jacket, really, you can make out of like a crepe or a challis. I think it'd be really nice. All the way up to like linen and poplin, which are pretty sturdy wovens. So good variety here. And then elastic for your I'm sorry, for your pants, your waistband. Okay. Next up, we have this pull-on top with princess seam and trim. Okay. All right, so it's got this little inset bib thing with a tie, and they top stitch some pom-pom trim onto it. And then also here with the sleeve, it's like a shaped sleeve, and then it tapers down to elastic at the wrist. They attach the trim there too, and a good sort of use of print mixing. Here's a better line drawing. So actually, this bib thing is normally really hard to sew because you have to get around these corners, which is really tricky. But if I'm seeing this right, it looks like what they have you do is sew this piece to this one, like gather this, sew it to this one, and then you attach this whole thing to this side panel. So it actually is a tricky way to have a really interesting line. Interesting design, interesting silhouette. Here's the version the model's wearing. Okay, here's the back. So the back, it looks like has a yoke, maybe. Or is that just a pleat that releases? I think that might be it. I don't think there's a seam here at all to give you that width, which is really nice. Also consider making this sleeveless, which would be really cute. Yeah, I mean, I have a ton of just really interesting trims. I should consider, you know, something like this to use up some of them. Yeah, so under 2 yards for A and even less for B, even though you get the extra sleeve. That doesn't seem right, but oh, because it's a contrast. I always forget that. So it's, yeah, it's designed to color block, print mix, however you want to look at it. So here are the here's the fabric requirements for these 3 parts. And then a very roomy bust. All right, but this one also only goes up to 16. So if you have a bust larger than 42 and a half, it might be a little tricky. And then cottons like poplin, shirting, chambray, linen, silky types like double georgette, crepe, challis. Yeah, you could really just shop the entire woven section. Well, to a degree. You don't want anything like a jacquard or a brocade or anything like that, but all the rest of them are pretty good. Okay, one button. I think the button is for the A gets a button. Oh, because A is buttoned here and not tied. And then flexible trim, 1/2 inch wide flexible trim, and then also a little bit of elastic for the sleeve. Okay. Here's a funky top with some trim detail. With pleat and trim detail. Okay. So interesting. So it looks like, wow, it looks like you've got a dart here, and then this is all a pleat that opens up right here at the waist to create this little pleat here, and then it's a high-low hemline. I think the sleeve is grown on. I think. We'll look at the line drawings. And then they have you attach the the trim in this really not very easy way. And then the little sleeve is also trimmed. Here's the line drawing. Oh, that's interesting. They have you like hand embroider this one, but you can really see the pleat. I mean the dart here. Here it is again. This is the version she's wearing. Oh, look, and elastic in the back to really cinch it in. This is a super flattering little top. You could leave off this doodad if you don't really like that. But I think it's kind of cool and interesting, especially for just like some kind of cotton fabric. Yeah. Here are our line drawings. Yeah, I bet it takes like no fabric too. Yeah, under 1.5 yards, up to a size 20. So up to a 46.5-inch finished bust. So pretty close fitting bust there. Brocade. Okay. Challis, chambray, crepe, double gauze, lightweight denim, poplin, sateen, and soft linens. I don't know about brocade. That's a little much, but the rest of them make sense. Okay, now you need elastic for that back detail, one skein of embroidery thread to do the hand embroidery, and then 3/8 inch wide midi braid or twill tape to create that little zigzag feature. This thing. All right. Where's my little X? Next, we've got tops with lined bodices, short sleeves, or sleeveless. Okay. So yeah, V-neck, princess seam, curved empire waistline, good for if you have like a little belly, or if you've just recently gotten pregnant or recently just had a baby. This is a very camouflaging situation. They've made theirs out of like some kind of silky type, which is nice. Here's another version with the sleeve. Here's the version she's wearing. Yeah, like a little silk camisole. They really like the matchy-matchy styling. Here's the back. Nice long zipper. Probably could have used a press, but waist seam comes down in the back. And it's rather long. I mean, it hits at your low hip. Your full hip, whatever you want to call it. Simple. Pretty straightforward. You could obviously lengthen this to a dress really easily. Here's the line drawings. I already have, I can picture patterns that I already have like this. So this isn't anything new to me, but if you're new to sewing, maybe this silhouette is new to you. It doesn't take hardly any fabric at all, even the sleeve version. The sleeveless version obviously takes a little bit less, but not by much. And finished bust measurements go up to 47.5, even though the sizing is 10 to 22. So pretty close fitting bust again. Silky types, challis, crepe, double georgette, also cottons like chambray, sateen, poplin, linen, and linen rayon blends. And you just need one zipper to get in and out of it. Okay, moving right along. Oh, I see what's happening now. And that's it! My goodness. Okay, so we have some really interesting patterns here. Not too basic, but not too trendy or over the top either. There were some really cute ones in here. I do feel like if you've been building your pattern stash for a while, you've probably got something similar to this already. Definitely something similar to this. You know, so nothing like groundbreaking, nothing super unique, but still very wearable, very easy to make kinds of clothes. So I am here for that. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Again, with the price point of being $3.99, it really does highlight how overpriced Simplicity's patterns are now because these are more designed than those, and those cost, what, 3 times as much or more? So there's something going on there. But if New Look is able to maintain this $4.29 price point and produce some really pretty clothes like this, I think that they are going to immediately become a favorite among folks who like the Big Four. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching, and like I said, come back next week for First Impression Friday, either on Wednesday for the Hemsiders or on Friday for everyone else open to the public. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all very soon. Bye.